Now at 10, a historic street in Joplin gets an extra splash of color. We'll tell you how. Plus, dangerous heat scorches cities all across the U.S., affecting nearly 90 million Americans. And a Southeast Kansas teen makes waves in the powerlifting world. The story of going from a young girl with dreams to representing our country.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The engineering technology program at Neosho's Crowder College gets a boost from a 7-figure gift. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. In a ceremony this afternoon, the college received a $1.4 million check from the estate of Greta Mitzi Rennick, a retired General Dynamics employee who died in March at age 94. The college president says it's among the largest individual gifts in the college's 60-year history. Among other things, it will allow Crowder to endow a new faculty position in engineering technology. Earnings from a portion of the money will help fund that position when the school finds the right candidate.
We're going to look for someone who really understands engineering technology, hire the best candidate for that position so that they can then finish the program, put the finishing touches on it, and then launch the program. We hope to launch that next fall, so that will be fall of 2024.
Earnings from the fund will also help support a leadership academy, construction of a press box, and other improvements at Rough Rider softball field. You might notice a bit more color on a historic Joplin street these days. Inspired by a St. Louis suburban initiative, a Joplin greenhouse started a project to beautify the city by adding flowers to West 7th Street. Albert's Greenhouse partnered with local businesses and with the city of Joplin to put 7 planters on the historic Route 66. The goal is to make the area look more like a neighborhood. The nursery sells a pot to the businesses and offers them the soil and the flowers free of charge.
It's always important to uplift people's spirits, and a few little flowers can just do it. It's never going to put a frown on your face.
As a local business, whenever you get the opportunity to beautify your area that you're working in, it's a great opportunity to do so.
The project started in April, and Albert hopes the super tunias will still be blooming on Thanksgiving. Next year it continues. Flowers will be planted and replanted at no charge to businesses in the area. 3 local veterans got a chance to take to the skies in a World War II era biplane. Nonprofit Dream Flights hosted the trip for these 3 veterans living in medical lodges in Columbus, Kansas. 98-year-old Louis Aketa, 74-year-old Ivan Queen, and 75-year-old Morgan Davidson. The flights took off from Pittsburgh's Atkinson Municipal Airport and lasted 20 minutes. And to some, there's a lot of beauty in the aircraft flown.
It just has a feeling about it. The Boeing Stearman, it's a biplane, it's made out of fabric. It served in our war, it served in ag processes for all over our country. And so it just has a lot of heart to it. It's a very romantic flight, very low and slow and pretty amazing.
Dream Flights was founded in 2011 and has hosted nearly 6,000 flights for veterans. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy for a first look at the weather.
Well, of course, we had a lot of showers, even a few little scattered thunderstorms during the morning hours. Very light, so not a lot of people got beneficial rain, which we definitely need. And then once we got into the afternoon, it started to warm up. 85, normal high is 90 degrees. We look pretty good right now. We had a few scattered showers in our southern counties earlier, but we are tracking this band out across eastern parts of Colorado that is going to drop off toward the south and to the east later on tonight into tomorrow morning. All right, temps right now mainly into lower 70s. As we go through the night into the morning hours, we could have a few scattered showers. This is mainly going to be in our western counties. I really think most of us end up staying dry. Overnight low down to about 67. Now, tomorrow night, we have a better shot to get widespread rain across the region. We're going to look at that and, of course, into the weekend here in just a bit.
See you soon. More than 67 million Americans in 31 states today saw temperatures top 90 degrees. Nearly 40 million experienced feels like temperatures in the triple digits. Natalie Brand has the latest on the scorching weather.
None of us that live in Maine are used to this kind of heat.
From the northeast to the southwest, the first week of July is a scorcher. Sweltering heat gripped large parts of the nation, setting records and putting a spotlight on climate change.
Essentially, all the warming we've seen in the last century is a result of human emissions. And unfortunately, the emissions are still going up.
And so are temperatures around the world. By one calculation from scientists at the University of Maine, the last 3 days have broken the record for the hottest average temperature on Earth. Experts say the climate crisis, combined with an El Niño weather pattern warming the Pacific, is pushing new world records.
We're going to continue to break records as climate change continues until that point where emissions and greenhouse gases are no longer accumulating in the atmosphere.
It's too hot, especially for kids. They get hot, they start getting aggravated. They just want to cool down in some sort of fashion.
As temperatures reach triple digits in Arizona, health experts say be on the lookout for signs of heat exhaustion, which can include heavy sweating, fainting, dizziness, and fatigue. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
NOAA, whose figures are considered the gold standard in climate data, said in a statement today that it cannot validate the unofficial figures from the University of Maine's record global temperature designation. Coming up, a single car crash in Joplin kills one person and injures another. Plus, a Southwest Missouri man charged with a dozen felonies, including murder in a crash. We're going to hear from the victim's relatives. One man is dead and a woman's in the hospital after a single car crash in Joplin. That crash happened yesterday evening. Authorities say the car was headed south on South Jackson Avenue when it went off the road and overturned. 31-year-old Christopher Cologne of Joplin died at the scene. A passenger, 27-year-old Crystal Kenny of Everton, Missouri, has serious injuries. Authorities say speed and alcohol appear to be factors in that crash. A man from Southwest Missouri is charged with a dozen felonies, including murder for a deadly crash that happened nearly 6 months ago. Stephen Jordan of Republic was going the wrong way on a Springfield freeway in January and hit a van head-on. The crash killed 3 people and injured 5 others from Texas. All were headed to a family funeral. Reporter Liam Garrity has a reaction from relatives of the victims.
Stevens' blood alcohol concentration was 0.211%. That level was more than 2.5 times the legal limit. What do you want to say to that?
It kind of makes me really sad because it hurts.
Kimsha Rosensteel lost her aunt, uncle, and cousin in the head-on crash in late January. Investigators say Stephen Jordan was first spotted going the wrong way at James River Freeway and National.
The family is wanting him in jail. They want him in jail.
8 people were in the SUV that got hit. 3 died and 5 others went to the hospital with injuries. Rosensteel says they were on their way to a funeral for her mother who died in a crash 2 days before. Investigators say Jordan smelled of intoxicants and had an empty beer bottle in his truck.
I was trying to get some peace. I'm angry now because of all this information here that you're just telling me.
Mr. Jordan has 4 prior convictions for driving while intoxicated as well.
Yeah. We didn't know that. That's heartbreaking as well. That's very heartbreaking.
Rosensteel hopes the justice system works to keep Jordan put away.
We have so many individuals like Mr. Jordan that's been able to fly on the radar. And then finally, when they do get caught, you leave lives devastated behind you.
Jordan's next court appearance is set for next Wednesday. A little later, we're going to visit the Frontenac, Kansas Mining Days celebration to check out what it has to offer.
Plus, we do still have thunderstorms in the forecast. We're going to talk about that coming up. Well, of course, we had the clouds. We had some scattered showers out there for us during the morning hours. Not very widespread, not heavy by any means, but we at least got some areas that picked up some showers across the region. For us right now, it's pretty quiet. Nice shot, Indigo Sky Casino and Resort Indigo just outside of Seneca, Missouri. Let me show you why we need the rain. Our drought tracker comes out every Thursday, and we keep getting a little bit drier across the region. So southern counties dry, but if we go into the metro here, you can see we're now in a moderate drought through most of the metro. Pittsburgh's in a severe drought. Then it gets even worse, an extreme drought. Nevada, Fort Scott, Iola, Yates Center, Fredonia, even our exceptional drought in our far western counties. So we do need the rain. We do have chances, not the best, but we do have chances as we go through the next couple days. All right, lower 70s right now. Looks good. Here's 7th. Here's range line currently outside, sitting at 73. Winds are pretty much calm across the region. Had a few isolated little tiny guys far southern counties a little bit earlier. Now we just have ground clutter, so we are dry, but we are tracking some storms out to the west. Eastern parts of Colorado dipping into western Kansas. Now, most of these are going to track southeast toward Oklahoma City, but we will try to get a few stragglers in here as we go into the morning hours. The reason they're dropping south and east, big dome of high pressure, follow the arrows, the upper level winds drop southeast, and unfortunately, most of these bands have just been kind of clipping us over the past couple days. All right, let's go through time. We're going to stop at 6 a.m., mid-60s. Thunderstorms to our west. May get a few showers in here in our western counties. Most of us dry. Let's go to about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Thunderstorms getting going, western counties. Most of us dry. A lot of clouds, but we should go into the mid-80s for highs. Tomorrow evening, scattered thunderstorms start popping up. This is on the Kansas and the Oklahoma side. Here's 8:30 p.m. and then increase as we go through the overnight hours. Do notice our northern counties, you're not going to get much from this, but a good chunk of us could get some moderate to heavy rain, showers and thunderstorms lasting into Saturday morning, and then this whole batch will push southeast as we go into Saturday afternoon. So by the afternoon hours, a little bit cooler, high temps only into lower 80s on Saturday, but we really need that batch of rain to get in here tomorrow night. If we can, a lot of areas are going to pick up a quarter to a half an inch, maybe even isolated inch amounts, especially in our southern counties. Day planner for you tomorrow, a lot of clouds, some random showers, high temp 85 to about 87-ish. And the second half of the weekend, I think most of the storms stay to our south, but our temperatures really start to heat up next week. Look at this, back into the mid-90s by the time Monday rolls around. 87 tomorrow, 82 Saturday, 88 Sunday. Thunderstorms mainly in the overnight hours. Monday looks fine, just kind of hot, and then mid-90s, upper 90s, pushing 100 by late next week. And we're very far behind on rain, so anytime we can get it, we got to take it.
Yes, and it's going to dry out with those temperatures next week.
Definitely.
Thanks, Doug.
Hey y'all, back to Frontenac.
Folks in Frontenac, Kansas are celebrating Mining Days. The annual event kicked off today. It featured a silent auction, bingo, live music, trivia, and amusement park rides. Mining Day celebrates the town's founding back in 1886. And they honored that history with a Heritage Hall exhibit set up at the town hall. The events like these, the goal is to make folks Raiders for life.
Fact of like people coming into our community and staying for a lifetime, you know. But I think that the biggest thing with the community and everything is just the togetherness, and because we have such rich history and so deep that people want to stick around.
Fun didn't stop today. Mining Days is going to run through Sunday with events including several street dances, a car cruise, a parade, dog races, a fishing derby, and a medallion hunt. Downtown Joplin was also celebrating today. Several businesses displayed the work of local artists for the first Thursday Art Walk. The artwork ranged from photos to paintings and even mosaics made of Legos. Still ahead, the Big 12 Conference releases their preseason poll for this year's upcoming college football season. And a high school sophomore from Parsons, Kansas is a powerlifting national champion. Brock Baldridge is going to break down her story for us next in sports.
A high schooler from Parsons, Kansas has a unique hobby. Autumn Sands is the 3A state powerlifting champion. Sands is entering her sophomore year of high school as she continues to pump up her resume and the iron she lifts. Women's powerlifting continues to be a growing trend, but in southeast Kansas, a young girl started as a CrossFit junkie, which evolved into something else.
I started CrossFit when I was 9, and I've been doing CrossFit for about 6 years. And 2 years ago, I decided to join a weightlifting club, Lion Chaser Barbell, to get a little stronger to help with my CrossFit. And I kind of just took off in weightlifting as well.
Autumn was inspired from what she saw from her parents at the gym.
My parents actually came and started working out, and I was like, that looks fun, I want to try that.
The 9-year-old kid from Parsons was just trying to stay out of the way until one day she got noticed by a trainer like a diamond in the rough.
The gym was really full, and we didn't want her taking away space from paying customers. So we just kept saying, go back in the kids' room, go back in the kids' room. But then there was one day there weren't a lot of people here, and she came out and did a few workouts and got noticed by another member who was a trainer and said, I think she has a lot of potential. I'd really like to work with her.
Fast forward 6 years later, and now Autumn is starting to grow into a national figure.
I'm a national champion, and then I won 3A state powerlifting, and I got 16th in the CrossFit Open in the semifinals.
Autumn is set to represent her country in late July, as she has already qualified for the Youth Pan American team for Team USA, which only 2 girls are selected. The small-town girl isn't letting go of her dreams and knows she has what it takes to make it to the big stage, no matter where you come from.
It's just really cool. Like, it shows that anyone can do anything, no matter where you're from or where you grew up.
And Autumn has set the state record for power cleaning with 200 pounds, along with 635 total pounds combined with all their other lifts. Autumn was tied for first place for the online qualifiers. Later this month, she heads to Michigan for Team USA, where she will represent her town and her country. The Joplin Outlaws are winners of their last 6 straight games. Outlaws are currently in first place in the Mink League South. Tonight, Joplin opens up a road trip looking to make it 7 straight. And Joplin will head to the State Fairgrounds in Sedalia tonight, taking on Sedalia Bombers. Joplin was oh so close tonight. The Outlaws trailed 11-4 at one point. They almost came all the way back, but come up just short. The Outlaws' 6-game win streak comes to an end as Joplin loses to Sedalia tonight 11-10. Joplin will be back at it tomorrow, where they will be on the road in Chillicothe. The Big 12 Conference released their preseason poll for the 2023 football season this fall. Members of the media from all 14 schools got their say. Now the votes are officially in. So here it is, the Big 12 preseason poll. The top of the list are the Texas Longhorns, and are they really back this time? Well, we'll see. The Kansas State Wildcats are in at number 2. K-State got 14 first place votes. Then at third place is Oklahoma. Fourth is Texas Tech. TCU rounds out the top 5. Baylor's in there at number 6. Oklahoma State at number 7. Central Florida at number 8. And the Kansas Jayhawks, which surprised some people, are all the way down at number 9. Iowa State's at number 10. Then the newcomers from the conference, BYU and Houston and Cincinnati. And then dead last is the West Virginia Mountaineers. That'll be a look for sports. We'll be back with more news after this.
With all the anticipation of the new Barbie movie about to come out, one southeast Kansas town is celebrating its arrival. KOAM's Jasmine Knight visited Barbie's Story Hour in Arma.
Anything is possible at Arma City Library today. This week for summer reading, the library hosted a Barbie and Ken Bash. Guests were encouraged to dress in their best Barbie-inspired outfits and decorate cupcakes. Everyone involved had a great time embracing their inner Barbie.
I was a big Barbie girl. It's my vibe.
With the new Barbie movie coming out, all the kids were excited. They even shared some of their favorite things about Barbie and Ken.
I like his hair and stuff. His hair, I love that. That's probably my favorite thing about all of them. I love their hair.
Even though many may see Barbie as just a pretty face, the girls learned great life lessons from their favorite character.
How to respect people. She's always kind of creative with her style.
I think it's one of the most important lessons that we can learn from Barbie is that just because you're a girl, that doesn't stop you.
The highly anticipated Barbie movie, releasing July 21st, also had everyone anxious to go see it. In Arma, they're most excited to relive their childhood by seeing their favorites.
See Ken, all those Ken people, and Barbie.
I'm just excited to see, what I grew up with be realized and be real.
Most importantly, everyone in Arma got to unleash their inner sparkle and have cupcakes while doing so.
So today, I got the chance to be reporter Barbie, and Barbie taught me that anything is possible. Reporting in Arma, Jasmine Knight, KOAM News.
Again, that movie comes out on the 21st. Doug is counting down the days.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that one.
I think he's going to be one of the first in line.
I'll be going at like midnight the night before.
Will you?
Yeah.
Okay. You're going to have to deal with some hot weather, or perhaps.
True. A few scattered showers and a few scattered thunderstorms tomorrow, but our best chance is going to be tomorrow night into Saturday morning.
Final sports note.
Former Columbus Titan Patrick Cassidy, we know we did a story about him earlier this year. He's a walk-on for the Kansas Jayhawks, and they just got their numbers recently. He'll be number 14, so any former Columbus Titans that go up to Allen Fieldhouse this winter, look for number 14. Patrick Cassidy is one of your guys.
You know what to watch. Thanks for joining us. We're going to leave you with a nice view of our station tower just before 9 o'clock tonight. We'll see you tomorrow. Let's make it a great one.